Welcome everybody to Enlight Education. My name is Ankit Patel and we are watching video for the living world, which is for the revision of first chapter of standard 11. Name itself of the chapter is the living world, right? In this chapter, we are going to study about what exactly living organisms are, how they can be defined, and varieties of living organisms and how they are classified, what we have done to understand such a diverse living world, which can be found in permafrost, tropical rainforest, deserts, in the depth of the ocean, etc. etc. So let's start studying the chapter The Living World.
Galloping horses, migrating birds, valleys, flowers, attacking sharks are just wonders of nature. The ecological conflict and cooperation among members of a population and among population of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside the cell, make us deeply reflect on what is life, what is living, bearing distinctive characteristics like growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness, etc. Growth. It is increase in mass and increase in cell number in an individual. Cell division is the key process for growth. It occurs in plants throughout their lifespan. In animals, it is occurring for growth up to their certain ages, and after that it occurs to repair damage. In short, growth leads to increased body mass. Mountains, boulders and sand mounds are also growing, but they grow at their surface, whereas living organisms grow from within, inside. Reproduction. Reproduction occurs asexually as well as sexually. Fungi reproduces through millions of spores, planaria by regeneration, fungi, filamentous algae, and protonema of mosses by fragmentation. Unicellular organisms, growth and reproduction are synonym of each other. However, there are many organisms that are not able to reproduce. Example, worker honeybees, mules, and other sterile individuals. Metabolism. Living organisms are made up of chemicals, biochemicals. They are of different classes, sizes, functions, etc. These chemicals form inside our body and convert into other chemicals. Thousands of chemical reactions occur simultaneously or subsequently in our body. In short, metabolism is sum total of all chemical reactions occur in our body. This synchronization among all these chemical reactions isn't found in non-cellular or non-living system. So metabolism can be considered as a distinctive feature for living organism. Yet, isolated metabolic reaction can be carried out in vitro, that is outside the cell or in a test tube. Hence, cellular organization become defining feature of life form. Consciousness means ability to sense the surrounding and respond accordingly. Any change in surrounding is stimulus, which can be physical, chemical or biological. Animals have sense organ to sense stimuli, but plants also respond to stimulus like light, temperature, water, other organisms, pollutants, etc. All living organisms from prokaryotes to highly complex eukaryotes sense stimuli and respond to it. Photoperiod is an example among seasonal breeders, among plants and animals. All organisms handles the chemicals entering their body. Moreover, humans are self-conscious. We are aware of ourselves. So consciousness is one more defining property for living organisms. In coma, our survival is supported by machines replacing function of heart and lungs. Otherwise, the person is brain dead. These patients have no self-consciousness. Now let's study about level of organization. All living organisms belongs to Earth constitute a biosphere. Biosphere consists of many biomes. Each biome contains some ecosystems. Ecosystem is comprising of interacting abiotic component as well as living communities. Community is consisting of many populations, and each population is having many individuals. Individual's body is consisting of complex organ system. Organs functions synchronously in an organ system. Each organ is having some tissues, Group of cells serving for same purpose becomes a tissue. Cell is a system where cell organelles are functioning together in a highly organized manner. Organelles are made up of molecules, and molecules formed by chemical bonding between atoms. Biodiversity. Species. Each type of an organism like humans, dogs, cats, mangoes, etc. is known as a species. There are some 1.7 to 1.8 million species known to us. It is estimated that this number is less than half of the existing species. As we explore new areas and even older ones, new organisms are continuously being discovered. So there are millions of plants and animals having different local names in different places. To remove this confusions with names, universal nomenclature, that is naming system, have to be established. So that after describing an organism correctly, a universal name is attached to it. This process is called identification. To assign name, principles and criteria provided by ICBN, that is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, is used for plants. And by ICZN, that is International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, for animals. The naming system that was organized is called binomial nomenclature, established by Carlos Linnaeus. According to him, there are two words assigned to each organism, that is generic name and specific epithet.
Now let's study about universal rules for binomial nomenclature. The first one is name must be in Latin or Latinized. Now we know that name must be in Latin, we can understand what it means, but Latinized means if name is not there in Latin language, then we should assign, or author should assign name in Latin language, and then the name is given to the organism. Second point is, in name for any organism there will be two words, and first word will always be generic name and second word will be or would be specific epithet. Third point is, if the two word name is written handwritten, then it should be underlined separately. Both the words should be underlined separately, and if it is typed, then it should be typed in italics. And the fourth point is, only initial of generic name must be in capital. All other letters of generic name and all the letters of specific epithet should be in small letters. So that is how name should be written or typed. Example here is given: Mangifera indica Linn. It is a scientific name of mango. Mangifera is a generic name. Indica is specific epithet for it, and Linn because the name was given by Linnaeus. That's why short form of Linnaeus is written over here.
To study different organisms, classification come up as a very important device, where different organisms are grouped according to difference and similarities between them. So there is need of classifying these organisms into hierarchical system, where each group at each level is called a taxa, that is kingdom Animalia, phylum Mollusca, class Reptilia, order Heterobranchia, family Hominidae, genus Homo, species Horridus, etc. all are taxa. This hierarchical classification based on taxa is called taxonomy, whereas systematics is study of different types of organisms and its diversity, also with relationships among them. In fact, the term was used for the first time by Linnaeus as Systema Naturae for title of his publication. In short, systematics includes identification, nomenclature, and classification, as well as evolutionary relationships between organisms. Taxonomic categories. All living organisms are divided into three domains, each domain into their kingdoms, kingdom into phyla, then class, order, family, genus, species. There is a trick to remember this sequence. Dumb King Philip came over for Great Spain. D for domain, K for kingdom, P for phylum, C for class, O for order, F for family, G for genus, S stands for species. Now let's see each of them one by one. First of all, species. Group of individuals in which reproduction can occur between each other to produce fertile offsprings belongs to one species. Each type of an organism is a species. Panthera leo, Mangifera indica, Solanum tuberosum are different species. Among Panthera genus, Leo lion, Tigris tiger, Pardus leopard, etc. are species. Among genus Solanum, Tuberosum potato, Nigrum for black nightshade, Melongena for brinjal are species. So genus is a group of some species sharing some common characteristics. Family. Family is a group of some genus sharing some common characteristics. Among family Solanaceae, Solanum, Petunia, Datura are genera. Among family Felidae, Felis, Panthera are genera. Felidae is also called family of cat. Order. Order is a group of some families sharing some common characteristics. Among order Polymonials, Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae are families. Among Carnivora, Felidae and Canidae are families. Canidae is family of dogs. Class. Class is group of orders sharing some common characteristics. Among class Dicots, Sapindales and Polymonials are orders. Among class Mammalia, Primata and Carnivora are orders. Phylum. Phylum is a group of some classes sharing some common characteristics. Among phylum Angiosperm, Monocot and Dicot are classes. Among phylum Chordata, Reptilia and Mammalia are classes. In kingdom, again kingdom is group of some phyla sharing some common characteristics. Among kingdom plant, Pteridophyta and Angiosperm are phyla. Among kingdom Animalia, Arthropoda and Chordata are phyla. So this is the table that you need to learn. You have to learn each and every name, biological names, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division for all 4 species, that is man, housefly, mango, weed. Understood? It is very important for objective type of questions. Taxonomical aids. Taxonomical studies are applicable in various fields like agriculture, forestry, industry, studying bioresources and their diversity. So there is a requirement of correct classification and identification of organisms. Thus, intensive laboratories and field studies are needed. And for taxonomic studies, collection of actual specimens of plants and animal species is essential. Perhaps it is essential for training in systematics too. This collection is used for classification of an organism and stored with its information. Biologists have produced certain methods and techniques to store and preserve the information as well as specimens. Herbarium. Herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Further, these sheets are arranged according to a universally accepted system of classification. So it can be called a storehouse or repository for future use. A label is always provided with information about date and place of collection, English name, local name and botanical names, family's name, collector's name that who have collected, etc. All this information are there in the labeling. This picture that you can see here is of herbarium sheet, and this is how herbarium is. Botanical gardens. They are specialized gardens having collection of living plants. Each plant is labeled with its scientific name, botanical name, with its family. The famous botanical gardens are at Kew, England, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah. It consists of world's largest tree. It is banyan plant. It is a huge tree, almost having an area of cricket ground. National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, India. Museums. They are generally set up in educational institutes like schools, colleges, and universities. It have collection of plant and animal specimens to study and refer. Specimens are preserved in specimen jars with formalin. Some plants and animal specimens are preserved as dry specimens. Insects are preserved in insect boxes after collecting, killing, and pinning. Museums have collection of skeletons of animals also. Larger animals like birds and mammals are usually stuffed and preserved. Zoological parks. It is the place where animals are kept in captivity. They are living in protected environments under human care. Here we are trying to provide environments similar to their natural habitat. In zoological parks, animal behaviors, their food habit, etc. can be studied. You may have some memories visiting zoological park while you were less than 10 years old. They are called zoo. Taxonomical keys. It is used for identification based on similarities and dissimilarities. The key are based on a pair having contrasting characters called couplets. Each key is two options for an organism to belong to, from which one is accepted and another character is rejected. Each statement that is option is called a lead. Taxonomic key is required for each taxonomic category. They are generally analytical in nature.
There are some other taxonomical aids also, like flora, which gives idea about habitat and distribution of plants in a given area or given geographical location. Manuals, it provides identification of name of species found in an area. Monographs, it gives information about one taxon. Each monograph is giving information about one taxon. And last one is catalogs. It is having certain information about different kind of species. So these are the different types of taxonomical aids through which we can study about different kind of species, whether belongs to plants or animals. So here we have end this chapter, completed this chapter. वीडियो अगर पसंद आए तो शेयर करो, लाइक करो, सब्सक्राइब करो.